Brian here, coming at you with another video. And in this case, I'm not going to go in and do a comic book grading unboxing. I am going to go over two books that I'm going to send off to CGC here. It is currently 12 April of 2024. So I'm going to send off two books. Hopefully they can get them pressed out nice and good, and then go through some quick turnaround on their grading services, and we'll see what kind of grades we get back once they get done with those. So I'm pretty excited, especially about these two books that I personally wanted in my collection for quite. So here is one of the books that I plan on sending off. The first one being the first appearance of Batgirl, Detective Comics number 359. I just recently picked this one up off of one of the comic book Facebook groups. And as we could tell, we have some pretty good crispiness and breaks going on along the spines. But when I picked it up from the seller, he sent me a bunch of pictures of this particular book, and I saw that it was still attached. Overall, for its age and for its condition, I'm kind of hopeful on this particular one. But I've already done the paperwork for CGC. I am definitely going to have this thing pressed out and cleaned. So we'll see what kind of grade we come back on this one. And here is the second one. So, of course, we got a DC theme going on here. The first appearance of Poison Ivy with Batman 181. This one is definitely in a much worse condition. It's a little bit hard to tell, but there are a significant amount of color breaks, and I'm actually a bit worried about this spine. I realistically am not expecting a high grade on this particular book, especially since it's coming without the centerfold. So I'm kind of curious to see how CGC works on that particular process. My understanding is that you can get this book in a much lower grade without the centerfold and have it as a blue label, or it can grade, just a little bit higher, but it'll end up coming in as a purple label. In either case, I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter because these two books are gonna go into my personal collection, not something that I plan on ever selling or anything like that. So again, we'll see what they come back with. Like I said, today is 12 of April 2024. I do plan on getting these things mailed off and into the mail system with CGC. So we'll see how long it takes for them to press it and then grade it and then get that sent back over. Now, I did do the Rush series, which was like $25 per book, so $50 to try and speed along the process of these two graded books. Not too bad. So following up with this, I have finally received my two books back in from CGC. It is May 31st, 2024, so we are looking at about a month and a half of getting these two books pressed, sent through the grading process, and sent back to me. So, I mean, just go ahead and get into it. Two of these books I sent off. That is the first appearance of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and then the first appearance of Poison Ivy, Batman 181. I sent these two off to get pressed. And unfortunately, CGC had responded to me saying that one of them wasn't going to be able to be pressed because it took too much damage. It had too much damage to the book, and they didn't feel comfortable with grading it. So they refunded me my money on that one. For the other book, they did press it out. I was kind of hoping for a better grade on that one, not the grade that I got, but it is what it is. So we'll take a look at the ones that we do have. But let's get into it. So with CGC, they do have some pretty awesome packaging. I've always been impressed with their packaging skills. right, here we go. Get these out of the way. All right, so I see the first book on top. Go ahead and slide these out to the side and see what we got. Get the paperwork out of there real quick. Here we go, look at that. Batman 359 in a 2.5. So like I was saying, I was really hoping that this particular book would come back in a higher grade, especially with getting it pressed out. But, you know, overall, not too bad. Origin and first appearance of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, Killer Moth appearance. See that right there? How cool is that? Then on to the second one. And I was kind of expecting this one, but you know, just to have it in that collection, especially at a 0.5, especially as it's identified with the centerfold missing. This was the book right here that they wouldn't be able to press out because they thought it would have completely separated the cover from the book. But I mean, a 0.5 is not bad, especially for an older book like this. First appearance of Poison Ivy, Pamela Lillian Isley, pin-up by Infantino and Anderson. Unfortunately, the centerfold here is missing. But still, an awesome book to have. And that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you also take the opportunities to start looking at sending books off yourself if you are interested in how that process works, or just want to know about the grading process overall. Just let me know. Drop something in the comments. Give me a like. Give me a follow. I appreciate you watching, and I'll close it out with that. Peace.